Just a heads up, we're going to take a quiz today. So if you could get to turningtechnologies.com or do the app on the phone, the session ID is ear training 10. And if you could
Are we
turn your
doing a quiz today?
that would be great.
Lately, this past 3 days of things like what? Just to get fruit, like maybe some veggies, some nuts, whatever.
Let me swap over to my phone so I can have my camera. I will be right back.
Welcome to class. We're going to have a quiz today. Please turn your cameras on for academic integrity. Go to turningtechnologies.com and log in or use the app. And we're going to use the session ID ear training 10. Me, 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 There was the great reveal this year.
That was an awesome mask, Dr. Bascom.
Look at my son's. My son's is even better.
Animal. That's funny.
All right, that was fun. Are we logged in?
I think I am.
Marissa, how's it going? All right,
Sorry,
so
what?
are you able to log in? Are you getting it all right?
I'm trying to reset my password right now because I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
I'll be in soon though.
Okay. You're all right. We got some time. I still got to pull it all up. So we're gonna do a quiz on triads, just on triads today. Do you feel like you do triads better than you do intervals?
I do. It's it's really funny. I felt a disturbance in the force in my sleep last night, and I was like, "You mentioned a quiz. I should get up and practice on Aurelia just to be safe." So I got up at like 9 o'clock instead of waking up at like 9:40.
Nice.
Just practiced for a whole hour on intervals and triads. I noticed something that I'm struggling with minors or major minor sixths and thirds.
Okay.
Those are the two that I struggle with that I found the most. But how was your day? The rest of your day on Tuesday, Dr. Bascom.
Good.
Good. That's good to hear.
Well, let's see if I can get this thing to work. Okay, we are in music 7A polling. We're gonna do triads, anywhere polling. I have 15 of you in the session, which is good. Let me share my screen, so hopefully it'll be big for you. Are you able to see the answer choices all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Doctor, do you have me in there?
I don't know. I'll know when I ask the first question. It says that there's 17 of you. And I have 19 of you in the chat in the session, so. I have another student that's trying to get in.
Oh, session ID.
Session
What was
ID
the session
is
ID?
Ear Training 10.
Is this going to be worth any points, or is it just like a practice quiz?
It is worth points.
Okay.
The morning class got an average of 78.7, I believe. Not to put any pressure on you guys. All right, I have 20 of us in here. Is that right? Is everyone in? Marissa, you good?
Yes.
I'm in.
Excellent. All right. So A is major, B is minor, C is diminished, D is augmented. John, what the heck were you talking about being a pair of shoes from a thrift store? I'm totally lost.
Oh, I'm just trying to do like weird, funny intros to make it interesting somehow. I don't know.
I'm like, is this like a song lyric? What is this?
Just
Okay.
just being mediocre.
Bringing a fresh take to it. All right. Here we go. Number one. All right, I got 20 votes. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, 95% of you got it right. Major. Good job. Number 2. I'm sorry. That's not number 2. Scratch that. That's number 2. Who didn't vote? There we go. Ooh. Only one note wants to fall down. To augmented. To major. Number 3. Elizabeth, did you just join us?
Yeah, sorry.
So log on to turningtechnologies.com, session ID, ear training 10.
Okay.
We're on question 3. All right. Are Bryce and Zach at the same place? You guys are under.
Yes, we are actually.
Me too.
Who else is? Oh, Max is there. Where are you guys?
We're all here.
You're at band rehearsal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Minor. Don't get minor and dissonant confused. Number 4. No sharing answers over there, bandmates. What's the name of the band?
The Dying Sons.
The Dying Sons. Is that S-U-N or S-O-N?
S-U-N.
Or is it like S-U-N-Z? Anybody know what Homestar Runner is? Gotta check the email. You're strong, Dad.
You just sent me back to like 2010.
My friends and I want to start a band, and we're wondering what we should name it. I would name it something like Laser with a Z, or...
That was a kick in the face of nostalgia. I appreciate that.
Elizabeth, are we in?
I think so, yeah.
Who's my missing vote? There we go. Augmented wants to go to major. Only one note wanted to move. Okay, number 5. I'm missing 2 votes. %. That's a B. Number 6. There's our solid 81% B. Number 7. Who didn't vote? Oh, we went down to a C.
You're making me second guess myself now, Bascom, I swear. I keep hearing the inverse, whether it's augmented or diminished.
Number 8. One second. Having a wardrobe malfunction over here. Number 8. Sophia Ruby, we are on question number 8 of a quiz. Session ID is ear training 10. Who didn't vote? There we go. Haley, we are taking a quiz. We are on question 9. Session ID is ear training 10. That was augmented. I played the wrong one. Wants to resolve down to major, right? Okay, number 9. TurningTechnologies.com. Ear Training 10 is the session ID. Ooh. There's no way this is major. Number 10. Nicely done. Number 11. Who didn't vote? Oh, you missed the whole thing, Sophia Ruby. After the quiz, I'll show you. And number 12. Who didn't vote? How'd we do?
Was it augmented or diminished?
Diminished.
I think I missed at most like 5. I'm not sure exactly how I did. I think I did better than the last one though.
Let's look at the report. Sophia Ruby, this is what you missed. You missed my Halloween costume.
They're bigger, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see you.
You can't see me? Can you see me now? You have to watch the video replay. My son is Animal.
Are those things hot?
Yeah, they are.
We're
Such
supposed
is
to look
the
out of
dark
that
side.
thing.
Our family's doing the Muppets this year. So we've got a Miss Piggy and a Professor Melonhead and a Swedish chef. Okay, our average score was 69.57%.
Oh, that's awful.
But it's a little skewed because I know we had a couple people that came quite late and missed most of you. There's 4 of you that were below 60%. Okay, so we've got some work to do. What are the challenges with these?
For me,
It's the diminished and augmented.
it's just trying to figure out whether it moves, just one moves down, or whether it moves up
Yeah.
by a half step. That's what makes it hard, because I could like sound it out in my head and it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. It can't be diminished. It doesn't sound like it would move up in a half step, and then moves up in a half step. I'm like, oh well, okay, now I just feel stupid. So it's just a matter of being able to identify whether.
Do you get that augmented only has one that wants to move?
Yes.
And diminished wants to move everything. Someone in the chat says it's hard to hear the difference between minor and diminished. Minor is very stable. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It's just sad. Diminished is creepy. It's more poignant. It's more filled with tension. Minor doesn't want to go anywhere. It just wishes it was happy. And diminished. There we go. Minor or diminished?
Minor.
It doesn't want to go anywhere, right? There's diminished. Does that make sense?
So how can we tell whether it's just one note that wants to move down to major, or whether it all wants to move up a half step? So is there like a thing we could
Yeah, you have a major third on the bottom. You have a major third on the bottom of an augmented chord. And instead of major, it's augmented. And it's dying just to put the roof on it. The foundation's already there. Now, if it's diminished, everything is equally spaced. It's just a matter of stacked minor thirds. In the chat, with augmented, the last note sounds so much further away than the others, while diminished is spaced equal. That's correct.
It's kind of hard to hear all the notes.
You can kind of hear that that major third on the augmented.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
bottom.
you can, but it's still a little hard.
The truth is that the augmented is equally spaced as well. They're both major thirds, but they don't want to stay there. They want to go and be happy with major. Where dissonant wants to just wallow in its misery by going up a half step. And minor wants to just stay there and wish it was happy. In the chat, as a mallet player, it helps me to visualize what I'm hearing. And that's a very, very good point. If you are a particular instrumentalist that can find a finger hole or find a fret or know that you push certain keys to get these, sometimes it helps people to do that. That's a great strategy that sometimes works. Is it dissonant?
Yes.
Yes.
How many notes want to move? 1 or 3?
1.
1 down to major?
It's still hard for me to tell, but just maybe it's because I'm whenever I was hearing triads, I was like used to hearing them arpeggiated, so I got used to that.
Is it dissonant?
No.
Is it dissonant or is it just sad?
It's just minor.
Just sad.
Just sad. There's some dissonance.
That's dissonant.
For us. Where does it want to move? Does the top want to move down or does everything want to move up?
Once it moves up, everything.
It was diminished.
Hearing augmented then diminished, and like hearing those two back and forth between each other, it becomes easier to discern because just diminished has like a certain sound to it compared to augmented, but when you come from like major or minor or something else other than augmented to diminished or something other than diminished to augmented, etc., you know, it becomes kind of weird for me.
So the point that I want to make that you've made is if you'll sit down and do them for an hour, I think you'll have the problem solved.
Right.
So it's just giving up your say yes to the dress show to sit down and do it. So we're on Teoria.com. Let me share my sound with you. We're going to go to exercises. We're going to go to chords. We're going to go to triads. And we're not going to poop with paper. What kind of crazy ad is that? All right, so we know major. Do we know major? Some of you know major. If you know major, don't test yourself on major. If you're having a problem with diminished and minor, just do diminished and minor. If you're having a problem with diminished and augmented, just do diminished and augmented. If you want to do all four, do all four.
Yeah, I think for me, part of the problem is that after a while, things start to blend a little bit. I don't know if anyone else has
So
that
you got to
issue.
keep
That
asking
happens to
yourself.
me too.
Yeah, me too.
You got to keep asking yourself the questions. Is it dissonant? Is it minor or major? If it is dissonant, how does it want to resolve? So I'm going to put these three into the mix because I know we know minor, diminished, and augmented, right? Is it dissonant or is it just gloomy?
Just gloomy.
So we're going to say minor. Is it dissonant? Or is
Yeah.
it just gloomy?
Dissonant.
It's dissonant.
Okay, how does it want to move? Up by a half step or down to major?
Sounds up by a half step.
What did I say? Did I say minor? I
Yeah, you
entered
did.
minor. It was diminished. Dang it, I missed it. Is it dissonant?
Yeah.
How does it want to resolve? Does it want to resolve down by step or up by half step?
Let's
It's
resolve
all down.
down. Like I said, like going from diminished to augmented, it's no big deal, or augmented to diminished, because you can clearly hear the difference between the two.
Is it dissonant or is it just gloomy?
It's dissonant.
How does it want to resolve? Does it want to move down to major or move all three notes up by half step?
Sounds like it wants to move up by a half step.
Is it spooky? Ooh. Is it dissonant or is it just gloomy?
It's just
Just
gloomy.
gloomy.
Okay. You can do these. Ooh. Is it dissonant or is it just gloomy?
Just gloomy.
Sounds.
Oh, my MIDI instrument's hooked up. This is fun. Oh, wow. You can do them on the piano. Now, I'm gonna show you this little doohickey here. This is a arpeggiated tool. You can't use it. You can't rely on it because I'm not gonna play them arpeggiated. I would answer in my head, oh, I think that's augmented, and then hit it maybe. But don't get addicted to that because it's not gonna be how it is on the exam. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So, crank these out. Right?
All right.
All right. I need to take roll now that half the class is left. So if you're struggling with these, this is like a computerized Dr. Bascom that can sit there and play them for you. Right?
Right.
All right, I want to go over some rhythms. I want to start talking about prep for the exit exam, the final. My question to you is, could you do something that's the equivalent of a week at a glance sheet with none of the answers printed on it in an hour?
Can you say that again?
Yeah. Could you do something that's the equivalent of a week at a glance sheet without the answers printed on it in an hour? So right now you get a week at a glance sheet, and it's got like 2 solfege and 4 rhythm. So if I did 2 solfege, 2 rhythm, just like we did on the week at a glance sheet, but instead of printing all the answers underneath, could you do it? Could you come up with it?
The Lali and
Yeah.
Latali.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not an hour, but maybe like an hour and a half for me. I don't know.
Here's an example. I want you to come up with. I want you to type in the chat what you think the rhythm counting should be. In a private message. Andy did not make it today, did he? Stone here? Yeah. What is that counting? First of all, does everyone see the groups? Does everyone understand that there are beaming groups? Okay, so I've gotten 2 answers. Neither one is correct. Good, John. Okay, so let me ask this question. Does everybody understand the subdivisions of 6/8? If you don't, this is in your student packet. But do you understand that there are 2 main beats, which would be dotted quarter notes? And then that can further be broken down to our 8th notes, which are 1 la li, 2 la li. You with me? And that can be further broken down into 1 ta, la, ta, li, ta. You with me? So if we look at this first grouping, we have basically tied together our 1 ta. Oops. Our la ta is there. And we've beamed together our lita. Does everybody get that? 1 ta has been merged. 1 la ta and our lita has been merged. So we would just say 1 la ta li. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
If we take this rhythm, all we did is we took our 2 la li and we merged our la and our li. So we would just say 2 la. So 1 la ta li. 2 la. 1 ta La, ta, 2. Does that make sense? Let's try another
Yes.
one. Can I clear my screen?
Could you explain that again? So basically, if we take the first measure, 1 la ta li 2 la.
Mm-hmm.
So we're breaking that down into just a group of 16th notes and putting 1 ta la ta li ta and looking at them.
We're breaking it down into beat groupings.
Okay.
So your beat groupings could be, oops, I didn't even do those in the right spot. Your beat groupings could be a dotted quarter worth, which we do have right here. Your beat groupings could be like a 1 lolly, which we kind of have here, but then we merged the final 2 together to get 2 la. Instead of saying 2 lolly, we say 2 la, and we hold that tie. You with me?
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
would be a dictation, or would this be written?
We'd be doing both on the final.
Because we've only been dealing with 8 notes and dotted quarters to now. In dictation,
dictations.
anyway. Yeah. It's a big leap.
Yeah. So, Connor, I'm not sure that I'm answering your question, but the other thing that you can do is you can combine all of these. So here we took a 1 lolly.
Right.
But instead of a la, we turned it into a la ta. So this beat right here is 1 la ta li.
Okay.
And you can think of it that way, or you can think of it as we tied those and we tied those. 1 la ta li. However, it's easier for you to wrap your mind around it.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's do another one. Here's another one.
So for the exam, all we would have to do is put in the underneath parts.
No,
So like the solfege and the latalis.
No, you'd have to perform it without the answers.
Oh, we have to perform it without the
Yeah.
answers.
So if you were given this rhythm, could you record yourself doing that? Could you figure out what the syllables were and do it? And in your student packets, in your student manual, there's a ton of these rhythms. Remember, we did them all one day in class. It was crazy. We went from start to finish, and we didn't until we did them all.
Yeah.
Could you do those if you were given something like this?
Yeah, not the ones that we're doing right now. I can't do 6/8 yet, but I could do the other ones at least.
How is that, Dr. Bascom? Is that better? That's just measure 1.
Yep.
That's right?
That's correct.
Awesome. Okay, so I think I've got a grasp on it then, which is good.
Let me put up the groupings. So there's beat 1, there's beat 2, there's beat 3, there's beat 1, there's beat 2. Does everyone see it? The beaming groups? These beams really help you to determine where
Your
the
strong
beats are.
beats.
So is everybody good with calling that 1, calling that 2, calling that 1, calling that 2?
Yeah.
We're a little short on time, so I'm going to give you the answer. 1 la ta li, 2 ta ta li. 1 La ta li ta two.
So it was La Talita 1, La Talita 2 for measure 2?
1 La ta li ta 2. Yep. Okay, so I want to start
Okay.
doing. So basically, what the final is going to be like is it's going to be like one of your chapter assignments. You're not going to have
One of
the
our
answers.
chapter.
Yeah, from your textbook. You're not going to have the answers written underneath.
Yeah, we've been doing that in the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you were saying it was going to be like a week at a glance just without the answers, so.
Same thing. Same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking
Okay,
of the
have a
book,
good weekend. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Remember who you were and what you stood for, and we'll see you
Happy
on
Halloween.
Monday or two. Happy Halloween.